gentlemen, today we're making history. This flight 757 is a maiden flight out of JFK Airport, flying into Argyle International Airport.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.
We are here on the southern end of the runway, overlooking the Stubbs Bay side, and all this area where I'm standing right now once used to be packed with dirt and looking something similar to what we have here, but it has been leveled off over the past weeks, and what I'm seeing here now, a number of stakes being placed in strategic areas here on the side. Now, like I have told you before, wherever we are seeing stakes like these, it's an indication that some sort of work, because it is an area where the surveyors have surveyed and where some sort of work is going to take place. And we know that the road, the access road from the Stubbs Bay end to Warraku will be passing somewhere along in this vicinity, but where exactly we just don't know as yet. We also know that the fencing will be passing around this area, that is the perimeter fencing of the airport site, and how that is going to be done I just don't know as yet. But as the work continues, we are going to see the development, but they are making preparation work in this area for the fencing work. And right in front of us right there, you can see one stake, and on the side there is the embankment overlooking the Stubbs Bay. But from this stake where I'm now standing next to, and if I can look straight across from this stake, we can see a number of other stakes being planted there in alignment with this one next to which I'm standing. But there are also other stakes placed at other areas here on the southern side of the airport strip. So it's difficult for me to really understand exactly what these stakes indicate and what exactly is going to happen, right? Maybe, but as time progresses, we are going to get to see, as the work continues, we're going to better understand what is going on. But today, as I come to bring the update of what is taking place here at the Argyle International Airport, today is the 26th day of September 2015, and it has been a long time. I have not really done a comprehensive update of the work here at the Argyle International Airport site. Nevertheless, I'm here today, and I'm hoping that after I have completed this trip, I'll be able to put these videos together and to give you an update as to the progress of the work taking place here at the Argyle International Airport site. From there on the Stubbs Bay side, we see the backfilling continues as trucks after trucks loaded with dirt dump their loads down there as they build up this area. And as we can see, we have different layers, different levels of building up. Right where they're working on right now, we have one level, and little above that, there where the white man, the gentleman in the white shirt next to the truck there is another level, and coming above that here, We have another level there where that fresh dirt is, and above here we also have another level. So they are continuing to build up this area, and as they build up, they're going further out into the sea, as you can see. And what is happening here, every Saturday when I come here to the airport site, I can see a number of people, some on the seashore itself, on the Stubbs Bay seashore, and some at this area where they're doing the backfilling. All the way around you have young people who are fishing, and believe you me that they do catch a number of fish here when they come here to fish it. I don't know if it happens every day, but I know for sure on Saturdays whenever I visit this area, I am seeing a number of people here catching fish. So this is one of the benefits that is going to be derived here from this work here at the Argyle International Airport. What we have happening here on the southeastern side, the side to the Stubbs Bay area, you notice that we have this area is being now filled with dirt. We have the excavator there leveling off the dirt, and we have had a compactor in this area, and this is the preparation work here being done for the putting in of the fencing. They are making sure that they have this area level. Where you see that truck over there is dumping this dirt, they are bringing dirt from other areas and filling up this area, because right before us here you're seeing the height to which they have filled this area here. And it was not like this last week when I came, but they were doing work down here, and on this area going all the way back up on the eastern side up there, we have some stakes being placed. So they would have taken down this hillside here right up to the point where they wanted to be taken down, so that they can put down the perimeter fencing, making the preparation work for the perimeter fencing. And so here we have them now bringing dirt here, dumping it here in this area, and leveling it off, bringing it up to a level to the rest of the area up there where we have the turning head and the runway. And very soon we'll be seeing the fencing work being done here in this section, this area of the airport site, which is the southern area, the southern side, the side overlooking the Stubbs Bay. And very soon access to all of this area will not be able to be accomplished after the fencing is being put in. So this is it, and you know that work continues here at the airport site. Never mind what some people want to say, the work continues here, and very soon we'll be having in operation our own international airport here at Argyle. All what you're looking at here, that is the Stubbs Bay down there where they're doing the backfilling, and all over there at the end, all where these dirt are being placed there once used to be sea, if you look at the shoreline as it comes around. On top here, on the flat here, they are filling up this area. Last week they were doing work here actually, and this bank side, this hillside, the foothill where I'm standing right now looking back onto the site down there, they have cut into the bank of this hill so that they can get the alignment that they need after placing the stakes there. So now what they're doing, they're filling up this area, leveling it off. They're not going to use the whole area for the fencing, but they're leveling it off, compacting it actually, and then eventually after the fencing goes in, we'll have it, a green grass start growing, and it look like that green patch over there at the southern end of the stopway. But this is what we have here, and they're going to continue to fill up this area, and not too long from now, as I told you before, we're going to see some fencing work. And it appears to me as where you have all these stakes, it's like they are putting them down to indicate to the workers where they need to fill up, because they have a lot of stakes in areas all over on the side up there where you're seeing that red front truck somewhere up there in the distance. They have some sticks placed all on the ground there, and as I can see from where I'm standing here, all that area was graded off and it was filled up with dirt, and it has now been taken to one level, and this is what it looks like with all those stakes being placed in some odd position. This is what I'm seeing here, that they're putting them there and they're filling this area with dirt as they continue the work here. And this is what is going on here on the southern end of the runway. On the south, let me say the southeastern and southwestern end of the runway, the airport side, we have work going on. That is work on the Makaniami Hill over there in the distance. The caterpillars are on top of the hill pushing over stuff from on top there, the trucks and the front end loaders. They are at the bottom here being loaded with stuff and taken to other areas. And right in front of us here on the eastern side, we have trucks coming one after the other and dumping loads of dirt here, and we have these graders that are leveling it off, and not too long from now we'll have the stone roller, the compacting machine coming here to compact these things. But very soon, and I don't know how soon, but as we keep coming here, we will start to see the work. But as soon as the preparation work has been completed here in this area, we will start to see the alignment of the area for the fencing, and then the fencing workers will come in and start to lay down drill their holes and plant their poles and erect their fencing to enclose this airport site so that animals and people wouldn't have that access to the airport site. And very soon, not too long from now, we'll be having the operation of our Argyle International Airport. At the back side here, on the eastern side of this hill, the fourth hill, you see a number of truckloads of dirt being dumped there. These dirt will be pushed over to the bank side here. On this area is where they're getting a lot of the stones to crush to make the aggregate. Over there in the distance where we see that front end loader, that grey stuff there you're looking at is the Rabaka stuff that was brought here from Rabaka. This stuff will be crushed, and in order to make sand, they're going to make sand for the concrete works from this Rabaka stuff, and from this Rabaka stuff they can also get some fine aggregates. So the trucks over the past weeks would have gone to Rabaka and bring down the stuff from Rabaka and dump it here. Now what seems to be happening, they're moving it from this area to another area close to where the mill is. Now the mill has not been working for a long time. I don't think it has broken down, but it has not been crushing anything for a long time. And I think last evening I would have heard it in operation. So I guess what is going to happen now is that they're going to do some crushing of these Rabaka stuff so that they can get sand for the use in the concrete works on the airport side. But I'm still here on the fourth hill overlooking the seaside here down below us here. This rough part of the sea, stony area here. And over in the distance over there we can see the Warraku Pond. And the work continues, yes, no doubt, here at the Argyle site, week after week. Work has been going on in many different areas of the site. And many people sometimes who come to visit the site, they don't actually visit the entire site. So while they may go at one area and appear as if nothing is happening there, because they have not gone to other areas or gone on the entire site, many believe that nothing much is going on. But I can tell you from end to end, there is work going on. And for you to really know what is taking place, you will have to come and tour the entire site, because I can tell you that there are people who are working on this airport site who do not even know what is taking place at certain areas on the site, because their function does not take them on the entire site. Their function or the duty that they have to perform only takes them to a particular area on the site. And because they're not able to go on the entire site, some of them don't even know what is taking place at other areas of the site. Now, all this area that we have here, where you have that mud, all along this area, as I look across, looking to the south, I can see stakes being placed at various points. Now, from what I'm seeing happening, actually, this is telling me that all this area will be filled to a level, filled with dirt, just like what they are doing down there at the south. All here has a sink where you see those muck there. When it rains, the water settles there. So eventually what will be happening, they will be filling up here so that when it rains, the water will have a gentle slope to slope off to the side. But over there on the bank side where they have cut into the bank, they have been making the area for the fencing that is coming from the northern side up there and will be passing in the area where we have the stone crushing plant here. The fencing will be passing along this area, right along this bank side where they have cut into, and going right around the perimeter of the airport side. Now we have the surveyors down here. They are doing the surveying work. They are putting in their stakes. The stone crushing plant behind me has just started up, and remember earlier up I was showing you where they were moving the rubber stuff, and I have told you for a good while mill has not really been in action. Well, what is happening now, the truck has brought the rubber stuff closer, and this front end loader, what it appears to be now, is going to take up those loads from there, and rather than having the trucks transporting the load, it seems as though that the front end loader will be loading those rubber stuff into the crushing plant there to be crushed, and this rubber stuff will be used to make sand and other fine aggregates. So the mill has started, and very soon it is going to start crushing these rubber stuff into small aggregates and sand to be used here on the site of the Argyle International Airport. These concrete, I call them junction boxes, are placed at specific distance apart from each other. And from these boxes, coming straight across on the shoulder area to about less than 3 feet from the runway strip, is something looking like that. That white object next to the stake, well, it is in this area where you have that white object, we're going to have the light that is going to be running alongside the runway. But it is coming from out there. All the cables, they are running, and we have one right here, one of those boxes. And if you can look further up in the distance, a good distance away, not too far from where I'm at here, there is another one somewhere up there on the ground. As I look closer, as you can see it right there, and from that is also underground duct or conduit running right across towards about 2 feet or so from the runway itself, and that is running under the shoulder area of the runway. There you have another one of it, and if you look straight across, that is the one I was showing you from down there. Straight across you have them. They already start running the cables through those conduits there that they have run underground, going all the way up to the point where they cannot go any further until they finish that area of the spanning. But up on the northern side, they have already done those work also. So the only area that will be left is to do the area of the river spanning and the 191 channel spanning, to bring the cables to link with each other and to have the lighting of the runway strip and other areas of the site so that we can have night run. This piece of cable in my hand is the cable that is being used to run for the lighting of the air strip. As you can see written on it here, we have 6 square millimeter 5 KU or V or whatever that letter is, airfield lighting. So this is the cable that they're using to run the lighting for the airport. I'm just giving you a close-up look so that you can get a better understanding what it looks like, just in case you're wondering. The columns for these fencing have been now put in place up to a certain point, but the mesh wire has not yet been installed. But this does not mean that work on the fencing has stopped, because recently, looking at some of the Friends of Argyle International Airport photographs, I would have seen work going on the northeastern end, where they're putting in that access road and where they were building that drain. As they build the drain and the road, they also have areas for the fencing, and I would have seen the columns just like these that we are seeing here already planted. And I want to believe, I have not gone there yet, but I want to believe by the time I get up there, I will be seeing some mesh in place up there where they have recently planted those fencing. But they would have stopped here for a reason, because continued preparation has to go on here before they can continue with the laying down of these fencing. And as you can see higher up there, they're still taking down the bank side there, just below the control tower, going around to the side to where we have the cargo apron. So the preparation work has to continue, has to be done first before these fencing can be erected. You remember earlier down at the southeastern end where the trucks were dumping the dirt and the grader was leveling it off? Well, those dirt that you see, those trucks were coming down there with. The dirt comes from this area, just below the control tower, where they are excavating the bank side. And if you can recall, right at the bank on this area here, there was once a wall's house. Now this house, as you know, based on the photographs you have been seeing week after week, has been demolished, and the land space up there, they are grading it down, terracing the area and bringing it down, using all the dirt from on top that area, going right around to the side, all around to the area of the cargo terminal building. And this dirt now is being taken in other areas to be used as they continue the work here at the Argyle International Airport site. So the trucks that you are seeing down at the southeastern end dumping the dirt, this is the area from which these dirt came from to put down. Here we have works and the continuation of this drain that is going to be linked to the one coming down from the road, passing at the western side of the cargo terminal building and coming down just below the bank side of the control tower here. We have gotten to this point here with the drain, but because of the bringing down of the bank side and the dirt coming down from up there, no work was done here recently. But what has been happening over the time, when it rains, the water that comes down from the road down into that drain forms a pool right around the area where we have the cargo apron. So work is now being done here to prevent that sort of problem by putting in the drain, and this drain will be linking up to the one coming down from the road up there, where we already have the laying down of the culvert started over on the western side. As we come in, the water comes down from the main road and will be flowing around the area where we have the substation and coming all the way down here. So we see we are having the pouring of concrete as a base, right? And then we'll have the steel matting laid down and the blocks run, and then we have the culvert in place. So this is the preparation work we have going on here right now, here at the bank side, north of the control tower, which is on the hillside up there, as you look up there. And up there currently we have work that is going on up there. Here at the site where we're having the cargo terminal building being built, as you can see on the ground there, we have the frames, the metal frames for the roofing of this building. So very soon you will be seeing these roof structure going up. Currently we have some plastering, and well, at the bottom there's some stoneworks taking place there at the bottom, and I have seen a plastering at the top. So it looks as though that the stoneworks is going up to the area where there isn't any plastering. So some nice stoneworks. You have some nice face stone there on the ground, and the boxing at the top in preparation for the concrete works of the roof is in place there, and the work continues here. So not too long from now we will be seeing the fitting up of these roof structure, which will be fitted on into the concrete on top of this building, making it looking so nice and lovely. It may look small to the eyes, but I can tell you it has a lot of space for sure. And after it is completed, many who are saying that it is small will then say, oh, it is looking bigger than I thought it was. But there has not been any pavement works here at the cargo apron for quite some time, since they start this small piece here. And it probably is because, well, this area is not that important as yet, and what it appears to me is as if they are focusing their attention with the concrete works on the filling in of the river area, where they need to continue with the work in order to continue with the runway heading up towards the north. So as soon as that aspect of the work is completed, I believe that they will continue to focus on the work here on the apron. Earlier up we are speaking about the drainage down there, and the reason why they have to speed up the work with that drainage, because not too long ago we had some rain out here, and the drain that is bringing the water down from the river, and from off that area up there where we had the road caved in, the water runs down there on the bank side, and the water from the road that is coming through those culverts end up settling here because there is no runoff area for the water. And all here the water was right up to the level of the concrete. So that's the reason why they are focusing on the drainer, so that when it rains, that water will be channeled into the right area where it's supposed to be channeled. As you can see here, there's still a pool because there's a sink here, and all this area will have to be filled up very soon after the work here on this building is completed, and the continuation of the apron work here at the cargo apron area. Remember, two structures were once here used for a workshop, and not too long ago I told you that the roof of the last one was off, and just now it will be done. Well, it has been taken down now, so there we have a big land space. But what is happening here right now, all this bankside you see here will soon be taken down, because they are currently taking it down, as you can see over there in the distance where the truck is backing up, right? They are excavating that area over there, and they're coming right up maybe to where we have this area where we have the generators there next to the terminal building. But the work here continues. There is still some work to be done in this area here. Workmen are here putting in the cables, dealing with the lighting. We have excavation work being taking place here on the bank side. The drainage system is being done. And right here, we are supposed to also have some concrete works to take place to make this area looking nice and level. But that work has been held up for the time being. I don't know for what reason, but we will also see some work taking place here. But I just want to draw your attention to the structures that were here once earlier up in the construction work of the site that was being used as a workshop. They are now gone, and soon this area will be taken down to a level, and it is somewhere in these areas we're going to have the hangars for the aircraft. Someone asked me some time ago about these objects here and what were they covering, what was covered here, and I couldn't give an answer because I wasn't too sure. But if you notice on this airport site, there are a lot of structures similar to these, and what I'm seeing here, you know, because we don't have any shaded area here on the airport site, these guys, the workers here, are very creative. They also make their own sheltering spot so that when it starts to rain suddenly, they have somewhere to shelter from the rain. So for those of you who are wondering what exactly we have in cover up here, it is just a makeshift shelter for the guys who are working in these areas. When it starts to rain, they can have somewhere to shelter. It is not anything that has to do with the airport itself, but it's just that these are makeshift shelters constructed by our creative carpenters and other workers here at the site, so that when it rains and they have somewhere to run to for sheltering. And I can tell you what it is like out here when it rains. Not only are they used for when it rains, but when it's lunchtime between 12 and 1, there are some little bunkers inside there where they go and they have the little rest, you know, after black people finish eating their lunch. There is always this thing that we call niggeritis. You have to go and take a sleep. Well, they have the little bunkers up there as well, so that they can take their snooze after they have finished eating. So for those who are wondering, those little sheds there that we see here on the side appear as if they were covering something in the photographs that has to do with the airport. They are not actually that. They are just sheds used or built there temporarily by the workers out there so that they can have a little shelter, and after lunch between 12 and 1 they can have somewhere to relax. From the looks of things here, one can see that this water that is coming down here will eventually be channeling through a tunnel or a gutter area, which no doubt I believe they will be concreting to link up with the 191 down there in the distance. The earthwork is being done here while the water continues to flow on the side. But if you notice over there on the side, on the left side, you're seeing where they probably would have already dug a trench, and the dirt that comes out from there, that is what the caterpillar now is loading onto the truck to take somewhere else. But no doubt the water, and they will come right up with it, and the water will be flowing through this area here where we have the earthworks taking place. I don't know if they're going to take it right down, or they're just going to make a small, or the width of the one that we have down here. But as time goes by, we're going to see what is going to happen. If it is going to be done similar to that up at the 220 channel, or it's going to be done differently. We are here at the 191 channel area. Nothing is happening here today, but there has been some sort of filling up works here last week in this area, and up there where we have the river running, we are doing a tunnel up there to bring the water through this 191 channel. And further up the hill, as from where I'm at here, I can see a lot of equipment up there on the northern side. On the northern side, the driver of that truck there is just posing for some photographs. But up there on the northern side, we have work going on. I can't say yet for sure what it is, but from what I'm seeing from this vantage point, I am telling myself it's some sort of asphalt work that is taking place. But when I get closer, I will know. There is no drilling works here on the Petroglyph Hill. Neither is there any works at all, no loading of trucks here. And from what I have noticed, the boat drills seem to be done over the past weeks. At the back of me here on the southern side of this area where I'm standing on the 191, there is the white drill, and further down at the area where we have the stone crushing plant, on the side down there we have the yellow drill. And these drills are old drills and frequently breaks down, and so we know when they break down, whatever is the problem, unless they're being fixed, nothing can be done until they are fixed. So this is what we have, and we are hoping that things will get good with them and they can start to do a little bit of the work here. But you could see a lot of compacting work has done here on the 191 channel, where we're going to have the runway strip. They have to build up this area and compact it, make sure it is firm, and then start laying down the base stones here on the side. I am coming at the side to show you the level to which they have come over the past week. As I come down close here on the side, and I'm showing you here on the side the level to which they have risen, and now it's almost, well, actually to me it looks as though it has reached that level here. And very soon, when things are very firm and nice, all over here has to be filled up, they will start laying on the base stones here and getting ready for the continuation of this runway going up to the north. But in the meantime, we have truckloads of dirt moving from one point to the next, as we see here with this truck bringing the dirt from up there where they're digging, continuing the trench for this water to be channeled through the 191, and these dirts have been taken to some other location here on the site. What is taking place at the western end of this 191 channel will be similar to what we're looking at here down there on the eastern side heading towards the sea. They are digging out a trench up there that will be channeling the water through this 191 channel, and it will be heading down towards the sea through this area. So all this area here, what we're looking at now, which is currently used as a roadway to get to certain parts of the site, very soon, when there is a new access route for the trucks to travel, we will have this area cut, and the work continues here. According to Mr. Perez, they're going to make some concrete boxing along this area. I will have to wait and to see how this is going to be before I can really give you any positive word on it. But they're going to concrete the area so that the water will flow through a concrete section. But as they get to that stage with that work, you will be able to see, because I will be coming here still and I will show you exactly the development in that aspect of the work in regards to the channeling of the water through the 191 channel from the western side right down to the eastern side going to the sea. And as you can see from here, this is cutting across the road. We'll be cutting across the road area down there and heading towards the sea. It will not be linking up to where we have the Yambu River ending out at the Argyle Sea down there. This water will be going into the sea, yes, but it will not be linking to the river as it is connecting to the river currently, because that is how the water has been flowing. But when this work is finished, this water that is flowing through this 191 channel will be channeled to the sea at a different area other than to the water that is coming down from the Yambu River heading to the Argyle Sea. Now as I look over there on the northern side, and I don't know if you can see with me from here, they are making a drainage way, and where you see that drainage way, you can see it heading right over in a cleared out area on the bank side there. Well, this is an indication to show us where the fencing, and I believe the fencing will be running on the outside of this drain, because where I'm standing here at the edge of the 191 channel, you can see a straight line going across there to where those guys are doing the concrete work. And from what I have learned, the fencing will be running somewhere along, even on top of this concrete works here of the 191 channel, and linking up to that area where the guys are working over there. So all this area below me here will be filled up with dirt so that it could come up to that level over there. Now that I've turned and I can show you, looking here at this fencing, you can see the fencing, no doubt I am directly on top of the 191. So if I'm looking at the fencing there that is heading towards the south, you can see the line to which the fencing is taking place, and you will see that okay, it will be passing right over here on the 191 channel. The river is now flowing through a different area. Before, a couple months ago, the water used to be flowing over there in that area there where you have all those green bushes, and flowing down in that area down there where you have all those dirt. But now we have it flowing through this area and going through the tunnels down here that we are now seeing here. 5 of them, and the water is spread across the 5, and the water is flowing quite well all through this tunnel, heading back down on the eastern side and flowing back into the original route down to the Argyle Sea. And the work and the filling in of these culverts with the concrete, the liquid soil, no work is happening today, but the work is going along steady. What has actually happened, that area where the runway is going to pass, that area has been done, and they're moving up to the end on both sides, but they have concentrated mainly on the area where they are going to have the runway, so that area can start to be filled with dirt and other stuff and bring it up to the level of the other areas of the runway. But here we have the river flowing through, and I have learned that they're going to put gabion basket on the side here to protect the bank side of this river, so that it wouldn't overflow its bank and cause any more erosion and causing any damages. So this is how we have the river. The river was not flowing here earlier up in the months, but flowing through an area over there and coming to where we have those grass area. And now it is flowing. All here was filled up where the river used to pass, filled up with dirt, and this area cut out. Once upon a time, the vehicles used to pass from over there, come across here to get onto this side where I'm at right now. But since the cutting of this area, they are now using the route across the tunnel there to get to this side where I'm at, or they will use the road to go up to the main road that is coming out little above the bridge. As you can see this truck coming up there, this truck is going out onto the main road, and it will come out just above where we have the bridge that crosses over this particular river here. All these stuff you see on the bank side up there, these stuff were taken, some of it out of the riverbed there on the site and dumped up there. But I don't believe that these stuff are going to remain there, because eventually they're going to take down this hillside, and all this stuff that has been stockpiled up there will be used to fill up areas here on the site. But as we get to that aspect of the work, we will see exactly what is going on here with these mountain of dirt that has been stockpiled up. A couple months ago, I couldn't be found here in this area, because right where I'm walking is now filled, but all this area was where the river once ran. And as you know, since the changing of the river, this area has been filled with dirt, and now I can walk from where I was over there looking at the river and come across here to get onto the other side. And normally before all of this was done and I wanted to get across above the riverside, I used to have to go up on that road that ends out just above the bridge and then come back down sometime in this area in front of us here to get on this side of the river, because the river once used to run all the way in this area where I'm now walking. And as you can see, the river has been rechanneled, and here where the river once ran is now being filled with dirt, and it will be continue to be filled until it comes to the level to which the airport runway is. And all the dirt that is on the bank side behind me will be taken down. All this area here will be taken down. Just a couple of weeks ago, that bank side there was filled with grass. Now we see it has been cleaned. That structure that is above us there on the bank, we could barely see the roof there. That also will be moved, and all this area will be taken down to a particular level. But where I'm at here walking is where we once had the river. If you recall, I took some picture, and there was a tree standing somewhere over there with a stump. Now the tree has been cut down, and there we see the part of the tree there is lying on the ground. But all here once used to be the river, and I'm now walking here to get on the north end, that end where they have done the first section of the asphalt paving on the runway in the northern turning area. You see that house up there, that will be taken down. All that bank area will be coming down, no doubt. It will be grading down, because we know the fencing is passing somewhere in this area, but exactly where I don't know. But most likely it will be on the flat, and therefore this bank side here will have to come down and flatten so that the fencing can run, because unless the fencing is not in place, we cannot have the operation of the airport, because you know that is very important, because we don't want to have stray animals running onto the runway when a plane is landing, or human beings walking across the runway when a plane is landing. We know what danger that can cause. So unless the area is not being fenced, we cannot have any plane landing. So all of these preparation work has to be done, and to get the fencing in, and once all the fencing is in place, then we can start have things happening here at the Argyle International Airport site in terms of operation and planes landing here on the site. The seawater and the seashore here at the Argyle beach that once used to be covered with the sargassum seaweed. Now you see that all of that is no longer there. We have a sandy area, nice black sand here, as you can see. The only thing is that the water is a bit rough, but nice area here, nice sandy area. At once had a lot of stones. Now we are seeing sand here on the beach side. And this is on the eastern end. Down there we have the old Argyle road. And over here, on the side here where we have this caterpillar doing some earthworks here, bringing down this area, leveling it off so that we can have the fencing going in. And somewhere in this area I was told that the road will be coming more inland rather than linking up to this one down here. I will have to wait and see, because this area where the road is currently is close to the sea, and from what I was told is that they will be bringing it more inland so that the sea won't have no negative effect on the road in terms of when we have a sea surge. But we will have to wait and see how things work out. But currently we have this area here where the caterpillar, all this mountain of dirt that we have here, these dirts were dumped there earlier up in the project, and now they're being pushed off to have a level area so that we can have the continuation of the fencing here. But up here on the northeastern end, some couple weeks ago I visited up here, and you see where they were putting down this drainage system here. And I told you on the outside of the drain where they had some holes in hole dug out in the area where they put the drain, they will be putting the fencing for the perimeter of the airport site will be passing on the outside of this drain. And here you have it now. The poles have been planted here, and all that is left to be done is the installation of the mesh wire, and this won't be taking any length of time because this is something that can be done easily. So nobody is working up here in terms of the installation of the fencing, and I have not seen them anywhere on the site doing any sort of work like this. But this is what we have here, and this is how this work was done over the past week since my last visit. When I visited here last week, none of this were in place. They just had the holes there, and this is what we have. Now you see where those cutouts, where we have this cutout area here, and in other areas down there, this should be a sign to let you know. This cutout here where you're seeing is for the water that will come off the road that will have to run into this drain here. Naturally, you must have somewhere for the water to run. So more than likely, those cutouts that you're seeing here, in these concrete works, it is my assumption that they are there so that the water that will run off the main road will run through here and go down into the drain. But we have a lot of them, the whole length of the concrete drain that they would have done here last week. They have done some plastering of the inside of the drain. Last week when I came here, no plastering was done. We had the raw blocks exposed, and now we have the plastering done and these siding. What we noticed down the road over the river, just between the rivers, the river and the gutter spanning area, we have them putting in gutter area also, similar to this one here. And no doubt in that same area on the outside, we will also have the fencing that will be going in like how we have them up here on this northeastern end of the runway. On my right over there we have the sea, and right where I'm walking on here is what appears to be the access road. Now this look to me as if it's half of the road, but I don't know, because this is looking very small to be a two-way lane, a two-way road, but I am not sure if it's just half they have done and then the other half will be done later on the side. But I'm going to watch and see. But we have enough space here on the side which once the space is being dealt with, it can be wide enough to be a two-way road. But what we're seeing here now, and if this, as we know, is going to be a permanent access road, what this tells us is that we will have a beautiful view here of the northern end of the airport site. If the planes have to come all the way up here to take off, but we'll be able to have a nice landing spot as we look at the sea, a lookout area, and here as vehicles will be traveling along this area to get to the countryside. No doubt some vehicles might use this area as a way of getting to the countryside, to get a view of the seaside as they travel home, and some will use the other road, the Argyle road that we're using currently to get home. But this road in itself is another access road that we'll be putting in, and as we know that where the road sunk there just above the airport site, if we had an access road like this, then we would not have had any problem, because this road would have taken you all the way around to Argyle area and back out just below the Calder Gap in the area where we had that club Casablanca. But when the airport is completed, we're going to have this access road from the north, and we're also going to have an access road coming in from the south to link both to Argyle Beach. It appears as if the men were working here this morning, but I'm not too sure what's happening. Maybe it's close to lunchtime, so everybody gone for lunch. But as you can see, they have gotten up to this point in planting the poles, right? So they still have a long distance to go. I mean, as you can see here also, some of the poles are already prepared, set to put down into these holes that we have here. This is one of the holes here, which was already pre-done while they were building the drain itself. They have done this work here prior to that in anticipation of the fencing, and now the fencing will be going into place. All the columns will be planting, and if you can look as far as I can see with the camera, right up in the distance up here, this work, once the preparation work is done, the planting of the fencing is not a big problem. It can be done in a short space of time, but the problem is getting the area prepared where the fencing is going, and it seems as though the area has to be in a level form. Now this drain that is running here is taking the water to the north, so when the water runs, it will be running from south to north, heading back over to the sea, and the same direction to which I'm going as you're going up to the end of the runway. So you see here the boxing that will have the concrete for the fencing. They are being put in place. The line is drawn there, and we're going to have the work continue. By the time I come back here next week, all of this will be completed, and we'll probably start seeing the fence going up. So when I come here, for me to get from where I'm at over to the other side, then I will have to go all the way up to the end and then come over. But eventually, eventually, when the fencing is completed, I wouldn't be able to walk around as freely as I could. I will have to use one area in and the same area out. Now that we are closer, we can see what was actually taking place up here this morning as I look into this direction from the 191 channel. Now they were actually spraying on the oil base here in preparation for a layer of asphalt that they will be putting on here later down, maybe in the week, here on the apron side of the turning head here in this area. All the equipment are up here, the rollers, compactors, the asphalt laying machine is up here. It is lunchtime and the workers have gone for lunch. So up here is quiet for the time being. And the oil sprayer, the truck that sprays the oil, operated by Paul Ledsman, I think his surname is. They have gone for lunch, and 1 o'clock, no doubt, after lunch, they will be continuing the work up here in this area, because all equipment here waiting to start the operation. And where we are at here, it's on the northeastern end of the runway, where we have the northern turning head, and looking at the work here that has been done here this morning. Yeah. As we continue the work here at the airport site. I am here on that road that is going up to where we're gonna have this signal station and the communication station overlooking below me at the Petrocliff Hill. Now I noticed that the asphalt layer moved from where it was higher up, more to the northern side, and have come down here at the bottom. But as I look across at the asphalt mixing plant, I noticed that it was in operation. And from what I'm seeing here right now, if you can see with me, that truck has just come from the asphalt plant and it is making its way back to where we have the asphalt layer over there in the distance. I am going to leave from where I'm at here because I do not want to start speculating as to what is going to take place, even though I might have an idea. But I'm heading on my way back over there to get a look to see exactly what will be taking place there. So I'm leaving here for now, and in a moment from now I'll be over there observing the action that is taking place there on the northern side of the airport strip, northeastern side of the runway, in the area of the northern turning head. I am now here where they're going to do some asphalt paving, and the machine, the asphalt machine, is already started. There is a truck loaded here with asphalt material on it, and what I'm seeing happening here, it seems as though the guys are putting down the stakes to draw the line as a guide for the asphalt machine. But the position of the machine is kind of giving me a bit of doubt. I don't know, because normally when it is paving, it will be turned faceward where the truck is, the dumping in that, and then it will move forward as the truck moves forward on the area that they're paving. But if they're going to pave this area here that is already asphalted, then the machine is turned in the wrong direction. Probably it will turn around to face the right position, and therefore the truck that is in front of it will have to turn around and come on this asphalt section, reverse towards the machine, and as the truck dumps its load into the tray of the asphalt paver and moves forward, the asphalt paver lays the asphalt, and then it is being compacted. But this section here, this full length of the turning head on the eastern side, they are going to do some asphalt work just in a moment. As you have seen and heard, everything is ready and waiting. Only the guys who are drawing the line, I guess they are waiting on them to start the actual paving of the work. But I'm going to remain here a while until things have started, so you can have a first-hand view of what is taking place here at the northeastern end of the turning head. Now over on the east, the far eastern end over there where we have the fencing, early up when I passed there wasn't any workmen there, but Now that I come back, apparently the workmen went for lunch, but now that I have come back, that area that where we had some stakes on the ground, those stakes are not, those poles are now up for the fencing and are being fitted plumb and ready for the concrete works that will be put in place to hold them steady. Well, you are seeing exactly what is taking place. The asphalt paver is reversing way back up to the far end, and it will work its way, come down as it paves this section of the apron of the shoulder area on the eastern side, the northeastern side of the turning here. And there you have the truck with the first load of asphalt reversing towards the paving machine as they move to the far end north and work their way down to where the truck is right now. So I will take a trip further up as we see the commencement of this work here with the asphalt paving on the shoulder area of the northern turning head. Now the machine has finally reached to the edge where it's going to start. The truck is just in front, and in a moment from now we're going to see the commencement of the pavement asphalt work here on the shoulder side of the northeastern end of the area where we have the turning head. I have not left up here since I came to witness the laying of the asphalt work here on the shoulder section of the northeastern end of the turning head. Now we have the final truck and which is doing the last piece here. Now this work, the entire length of the turning head on the eastern side, these two sections of asphalt pavement took at least, well not me say at least, it took 8 truckload of this size of asphalt to complete it from the top end of the turning head on the eastern side to this point where we are at here. And now we are on the 8th truck which has just started offloading here in the asphalt mix, the asphalt spreader. So we are on the home stretch now, and this is what you have since I came here this afternoon to witness this work. I have not left. I have spent some time with Paul in that truck up there, the asphalt, that oil truck there, and the weather was so heated up here, and inside of that truck it is air conditioned and it felt so cool that I didn't even want to leave. I actually came out when the second to last truck actually dumped too much of the asphalt into the asphalt paver, causing a spill off at the front, and some work had to be done to clear the way so that everything could run smoothly. So now we are almost to the end. As I told you, we have the last truck being offloaded here, and when this is completed, the work here in terms of the laying of the asphalt will come to an end. But the compaction work will continue because we have to have this work compacted here. But very soon we will be completing the works here on this section of the asphalt lane here in this area on the northeastern end of the turning head. Now, no doubt that this asphalt work on the shoulder area will have to continue right all the way down to where you see that vehicle is going. But for the time being, the asphalt work is being done here on the section of the turning head, and more than likely they will go over to the other side, which is on the western side of the turning head, and do that section. I am not sure how they're going to do this area here on the shoulder, if they're going to wait until they start laying down the second base coat, the second coat here of asphalt here on the runway, to start to do that section that is on the side of the asphalt runway itself. But as time progresses, we are going to see exactly what is happening. So I'm about to leave up here and head my way down south, and out of here it is start getting dark, and the moon on the eastern side is start to brightens up, and here we have some cloud after the sun has set. You see the cloud pattern over there, and our moon in the distance is about to start shining its bright light as this area gets dark. So I am on my way out of here before it gets too dark for me to see my way out. And this is it. Just gonna give you a little look. See, the truck is almost to the end. As the work come closer down, not much to go. And with a number here on the pitch, I don't know if you can see it, 256 there written, and I'm not too sure if it's 256 feet or yards of asphalt work that has been laid down here today. You could interpret it how you want to, I don't really know, but that's the number written there. This has brought us to the end of this week's visit to the Argyle International Airport for Saturday, the 26th of September 2015, the final day in the month of September. So when I meet with you again, it will be in the month of October. I must apologize for those who have been looking forward for my weekly update through YouTube. I must apologize to you for not bringing any update for the past month or so, but here am I today bringing you another one. I hope that you will find it enlightening and entertaining and informative as you continue to look forward to the progress and the completion of the Argyle International Airport. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant day.